Hello everybody, my name is Blake with Zero Latency Holland, and I am back again with another track guide. This week for our league, we are going to a very powerful car. Not just a supercar or a hypercar, but a Formula One car. We're using the SF70H, I believe it's called. I'm going to make sure that is correct. SF70H. So this is the 2017 Formula One car built by Ferrari, and we are going to be racing it around Hockenheim, an F1 track that they would have been racing at in 2017. Hockenheim, not a very difficult track. It's not very long, not any difficult corners or anything, but the car is a bit of a handful. There is a lot of grip, there is a lot of downforce. You can push quite hard, but you have to be very precise. And so, with that in mind, we have decided that this week, if anybody can beat my personal record around this track, we will be giving a $500 cash prize to anybody who can do that. As you can see on screen, my personal best lap time is a 1 minute 20.842. Without further ado, let's go into the track guide, take it corner by corner, set a hot lap, and we'll get rolling. Okay, so now that we're on track, we're going to do a corner by corner analysis. Starting on the pit straight, I don't find myself in my highest gear, which is 8th. Usually I find myself in 7th. And coming onto turn 1, not really as much of a turn as it is a kink, so braking right before that 50-meter board, just slowing yourself down a little bit, braking and really attacking this curb on the inside. It's not going to unsettle the car too much, you just can't cut it. And the track really opens up on the exit, so you can take a lot of exit curb as well. Just can't put all 4 tires across the white line, or else your lap time will be invalidated. Going on to turn 2, braking right before the 100 board on the left, and I actually go all the way down into first gear because it's kind of a tight hairpin that opens up on the exit. So you can keep the throttle completely flat through the exit, completely flat through this left-hander, and completely flat through the very long left-hander going up to the hairpin. Into 8th gear, I usually brake right before the 100-meter board, and I'll kind of slow down and show exactly where. There's a little bit of a green kind of entry to a service road there on the left. I brake right when I align with that, so right about here. As you can see, I've kind of passed most of it. There's still a little bit there. That's usually where I brake. So going down from 8th gear all the way down into first, you're holding the brake pedal down as much as you can until you get to the hairpin. Don't want to take any curb in case you brake a little bit too early. That will unsettle the car, but you also don't want to brake too deep either. You got to really find the balance. Coming out of the hairpin now, flat on the gas. This corner is an easy flat. And I usually brake right around where the service road starts on the right there. And I usually find myself going into first gear for this corner as well. Don't want to attack the curb on the left, but you want to be right at it. You don't want to go past it either. Now this corner really tripped me up when I was learning this track. So there's not much grip on this corner. So I usually find myself kind of lifting off the gas a little bit, and when the tarmac kind of changes to that black color, you really don't have much grip in the rear, I find. So I try to keep the steering wheel as straight as possible, aim for the outside of the track. Of course, not putting all 4 tires off just like that. Cut detected, lap won't count, but that's okay. Putting all 4 tires off will just invalidate your lap time, but keeping the car aimed towards the outside of the track so I'm not putting much steering lock towards the inside, or else I lose the rear of the car. For this next corner, I actually don't brake at all. I just lift off of the gas. I think I just kind of downshift down into 4th or 5th. Let me back up a little bit so I can show exactly where I am in the corner. So there's kind of this green curb on the left. I usually lift off right after I pass it. So right about here, I'm lifted off, and as I'm lifting off, I'm downshifting into 5th, attacking this curb on the right. It's not big, it's not going to throw the car around, but you do need to keep at least 1 tire on the track. and you can take a lot of this exit curb as well, but again, can't put the entire car off the track. So for this corner, I brake right before that 50-meter board there, braking into second gear for this long kind of left-hander. You want to be on the inside, but you don't want to take this curb at all because there's a bit of a banking in the corner. If you take this curb, it's really going to unsettle the car. You can take this curb on the exit, but I wouldn't recommend taking too much of it. There's not much grip. Same with this one on the inside. Take some of it, but there's not much grip. Aiming the car towards the outside for the final few corners. These corners are a bit tighter than they seem. It took me a little bit to figure them out, but right when the car kind of straightens out is when I brake. Downshift, I think, around into third. Really just kind of take these slower than I expect. Let the car walk itself out before the final corner. You want to have a bit of a late entry, just like this, and take plenty of space on the exit, and we have completed our lap. So, now that we've done some corner by corner analysis, I'm going to do a hot lap and show what it looks like in real racing speed. Okay, coming out of the final corner here, going down the pit straight, going to just quickly stab the brakes into turn one, downshift into fifth, attack the curb on the right. Could have taken a little bit more exit curb, but that's okay. Going into turn two now, hard braking down into first for this little hairpin. Straight back on the gas. Don't need to lift for that left-hander. Don't need to lift for this one either. And we're just flat on the gas, up into 8th gear, keeping it to the left right before the hairpin, braking when that service road starts on the left, down into first. Get it around that hairpin. Back on the gas. Don't need to worry about this corner, no lifting, no braking. Braking when that service road starts on the left, down into first. Took a little bit of curve there on the left, that's not ideal. A little bit of a lift off the gas, keeping the car aimed towards the outside to keep the grip in the rear. And lifting off when the green ends on the left. Just downshifting into fourth. Back on the gas, braking right before the 50-meter board. Down into second. Can take so much speed through a banked corner here in an F1 car. Down into third for the penultimate corner. Looking good, and a bit too early of an entry there on the final corner, but that's okay. It's a pretty good lap time. What's it going to be? 123.6. That's not as good as I was expecting. But anyway, that is a lap time in real racing speed. Once again, if anybody can beat my personal lap time, it's a $500 cash prize on the house. So hope to see everyone coming down, giving it a try. Just having fun is really what we're after. So hope to see you guys in the next guide.